Hello good people, welcome to Shiyelia in Korea. Today I'm going to talk about partial scholarships. So this is a series of videos that I will talk about scholarships offered in South Korea. So yeah, don't miss the application period. It's going to start around September, October. That's when most scholarships open. I will share about the partial scholarship that I myself benefited from. I benefited from a partial scholarship that was offered by a university called Keimyung University. Tuition for my master's degree, tuition for my Korean language study, and dormitory allowance. So it was really a good scholarship to some extent, and I also got dormitory, and the dormitory was also with some meals like breakfast and dinner, and for lunch I had to see for myself. So that was the scholarship. All I can say, the partial allowance that we're giving was around 150,000 Korean won, which equates to around $120 to $130 US dollar. Yeah, it was not really that much, because for a normal scholarship you need more than $500. You actually need $700 to $900 as a student for your living expenses per month. So yeah, it was what it was. But for the purpose of motivating you, I've written some notes right here to tell to you that these scholarships are found on every university website. You find these partial scholarships on every university website. And the good thing is most universities are actually enrolling more international students, because over the past 10 years it's something that Korea tried to work on, that Korea becomes a travel destination for students. They have lots of universities in Korea, lots of them. So if you go to any university website, you will check for scholarships on the admission portal. So this is the basic type of scholarship, like the one I got, type number 1, where it's research-based partial scholarship. You get full tuition waiver, dormitory included, plus breakfast and dinner, and Korean language study basic living allowance of maybe $150 to $500. Yeah, that's the general of partial scholarships offered in Korea. There's a tiny fly, can you imagine? So if you come on a research-based partial scholarship, it means you will be doing research when you do your master's degree or a PhD degree. Then that time you can get extra allowance from your research. Sometimes it can range from 300 to 1 million won, depending on your area of study. If your professor is a very good project and you are doing a lot of contribution, maybe you are doing more than 80% contribution, then your allowance from the project will be higher. And also if you publish papers, sometimes you get other incentives. So yeah, this type of research-based partial scholarship is available at most institutions. I will list down the institutions that I know in the description box which offer this type of partial scholarship, research-based kind of scholarship. So there's also another scholarship which may be very partial, in the sense that the tuition is not 100%, there is no dormitory, there are no meals, there is no any basic living allowance that they give you, nothing. They just offer maybe 50% discount of your tuition, 70% discount, 80%, 90% discount, depending on the scholarship criteria. And this kind of scholarship is actually the one which is used to sponsor Asian students, the door closed. Anyway, so Asian students get these partial scholarships because they easily understand Korean. So for them to get Korean language level 5 or level 6 for enrollment or during admission is something very easy to them because they are in Asia. So that's the other main part of the partial scholarship. But for people who are coming from Africa or other nations where you know Korean language is very difficult for you to study, it's very difficult for you to even speak it whichsoever way, I advise you to look for the research-based partial scholarships, because with research-based partial scholarships you are guaranteed that you have an extra allowance from the professor, you have an extra allowance from the project that you do. Yeah, and it's not really dependent on your Korean proficiency, because on admission they may ask you to submit English scores, so that way it's much easier. And even for research-based scholarships, it's graduate schools actually offer, some graduate schools offer classes purely in English, so in the end you are good to go, no worries about Korean language. So that's what I can say about partial scholarships. So people from Africa, I highly advise you to look for research-based partial scholarships, because with those you can actually get extra funding from the professor, and that extra funding can see you through. Or maybe you may need just an extra $300-400 top up here and there. It depends, it all depends. So that's what I have to say about partial scholarships. And if you're from Asia, I know many people are watching, if you're from Asia and you know your Korean is very good, then you can actually get the Korean language related kind of partial scholarship, where they say if you have level 6 you get fully funded scholarship. I was checking my time, I thought it's already more than 10 minutes. Anyway, the next video I'll come up to talk to you about the degree programs that are offered. I have seen questions, people asking, is there a medical degree kind of scholarship? Is there nursing degree scholarships? Is there music and arts scholarship? Is there dance scholarship? Like several questions people have been asking throughout the social media, and I was like, okay, let me write down and do research. So I'm actually working on it, and I'll come back and give you the review of those kind of scholarships. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? What? So please check out my other videos. I have playlists for scholarship offers that are given right here in Korea, and when you watch those older videos, just write down the period, the deadline that was there that time. So it means anytime this year that similar scholarship will have a deadline around that time. As simple as that, and you can start preparing your documents, and by the time when the scholarship open or when the universities do the enrollment, then you can apply on time. No need to submit your documents late. That's the purpose of this video. So if you know anyone who wants to study in Korea, please share this info with them. If they are not on YouTube, please share with them my Facebook page or my Facebook group, where we talk mainly about scholarships only. So good people, all I wanted to share in this video is just this. So thank you so much for watching. Check you in my next video. Ciao ciao, good people.